podcasting from Grand Army Plaza in Brooklyn, New York. This is the Brooklyn Baritone Podcast. Hey everyone, as usual, it is good morning when I'm recording these productions and podcasts, but whenever you choose to listen, morning, evening, afternoon, nighttime, late at night, I always very much appreciate the likes, the looks, the listens, and of course, I, from the bottom of my heart, would appreciate you hitting that subscribe and notification bell on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone, but do that at your own accord or when you want to, if you want to. Well, one of the last videos I did was called Critical Race Theory. Well, it wasn't a term that I coined and came up with myself, but it's something that so many people are talking about as of recent years. And another critical thing that many people talk about is also critical thinking. And the thing is, I understand a lot of people just kind of lack those kind of skill sets because critical thinking actually involves you getting into the details of everything, in the explicit details of how things are, why things are the way they are, getting down to the nitty-gritty. And unfortunately, we are in a culture where people take things at face value, take the ball and run with it, and realize they've been running the wrong direction with the ball all this time. So one term what comes with details, people love to say is the devil is in the details. Well, if you know anything about that character, the devil, you know he's not about the proper details. Because when you get down to the nitty-gritty and the details of things, it's about finding out the truth of the matter of things. So the devil definitely is not in the details because he wants to hide all the details away from you. If anything, I'm going to say it, Elohim, God, is all about the details. He wants us to use our critical thinking skills with the God-given intellect that we have been given to understand how things move and how we're supposed to react and treat things and people around us. This is how we properly think because we have to understand where things came from, why things came about, what are the effects of it, immediate effects and even long-lasting effects. So going forward with that being said, there's so many things and topics that are popping, buzzing today, yesterday, the year before that we could talk about all over the place all day. So one of the things I want to make sure is that you guys look at the details so you can make better judgments, so you can have better corrective actions when you need it. Because we can't be swayed by our feelings. Well, our feelings have its place, but then we also need logic, we also need fact, we also need proper truth. Those are in the details. We have so many things that people are divided off of right now. To vaccine or to not to vaccine. We still have issues now with the economy, with how it's going. We have issues about how this country is dealing with China, how China is dealing with us. We have so many things to talk about. So I'm going to give you an example that has been proven to have people not show critical thinking skills. Come back with me. This is 2021. Let's roll back 21, 22, 23 years ago. Back at the turn of the century, the year 2000, otherwise known as Y2K. Y2K was the buzzword for so long, for so many people. And so many people capitalized and made a lot of money on Y2K. The main thing why so much people made so much money in Y2K is because we thought that so much systems are going to crash for whatever reason. If we really knew how computers move, I'm an IT person, so I'm going to know this. I'm not going to say I wasn't kind of concerned about things, but overall I know a computer is a computer is a computer. Those things run on binary. Binary is just absolute numbers, ones and zeros. So you could have a computer, what was it back then, Windows 95, Windows 2000, Windows NT, or whatever, Windows ME, I'm not too sure. I'm pretty sure someone's going to correct me when that actually dropped. Rocking an Apple OS, it doesn't matter what you were using at the time. The computer's not going to care what year it is. So the computer wasn't going to crash at the turn of the century at, January the 1st, 2000, and everything that shuts down, lights goes off, planes fall out the sky, and that's it. Computers and systems aren't going to care because all these systems that we run even back then 20 plus years ago, we're running computers. And the computer is going to know, okay, the year 2000 is just another date for me. It's just another number for me to keep track of my operations, and that's it. We, on the other hand, as opposed to really looking at the details and exercising critical thinking, people died. If people had an actual proper confidence in themselves and proper, I'm going to say, spiritual understanding, they're going to know that there's no reason to fear any of these things and take your own life. So much people out there, drank poison, jumped off of buildings, and all types of foolishness because of the hysteria that was brought on about Y2K. All right. Now, if you understood the details of how this world works, how systems work, how life is supposed to be, then you would have more confidence to know that, okay, it's just another blasted date. We could say that in retrospect now, how stupid people were, but I'm living in a generation of people that lived through that. All right. People were making a killing on computer products, on keyboards, on hard drives, on monitors, with a little sticker that said Y2K compliant. And instead of, paying $20 for a keyboard, people were charging like $100, $200 and upward for something that had a Y2K sticker. And the sticker probably cost like 1 cent to print in mass. So everything that's going on right now. And I did mention the vaccine for COVID-19. I'm not going to bash anyone who took it or bash anyone who doesn't take it. You have to understand the details of everything and how these things work and understand all the information that we can be made so you can make the proper choice. All right. If you want to learn more about the vaccine, go outside the regular realms of mainstream media. If you want to look up spike proteins and mRNA, it would behoove you to look after these things. I want you guys to think, man. The same way how this one of these popular memes from this cartoon animation from a comic book adaptation of Invincible, where you see Omni-Man standing over a beat up and battered Invincible. Think, Mark, think. I want you people to think. Use your God-given intellect and stop making knee-jerk reactions, because here's the problem with that. With people who actually take the time to look at the details of everything, we have to deal with so many people now that make a knee-jerk reaction, people that are moved by their emotions and not logic. We're going to have to now deal with a whole crowd of people, even the majority of people now, that want to take the ball and run the wrong direction. You're dragging everybody else with you. And then when you realize down the road, months down the road, years down the road, oh man, we were misinformed. You took everybody with you. So now you're kind of responsible for having that lemming mentality of running over the cliff. And unfortunately, we're going to be swayed. Politics, society is unfortunately swayed by the decision of many. It's a good thing and a very dangerous thing, and as it has proven itself to be. So do not be the cause of your own demise, and what's even worse is that you will cause the demise and destruction and misery of other people because you were swayed by your feelings and not critical thinking and looking in the details of so many things. This is why we are where we are, because we do not give our intellect a chance to kick in, to override our feelings and what's being fed to us. I always say you have to understand why certain things are made so readily available to us and why certain things are not. Think, man, think. That's all I got for today. If you want to check out the rest of my podcasts and my content and productions, check out my website at www.brooklynbaritone.com. You can also check out my merchandise there too. Support the channel, support your man here, Brooklyn Baritones, trying to make it. You could also check me out on my YouTube channel, Brooklyn Baritone. On a professional side, I am on LinkedIn under Corey Ashley. You could also catch me on Instagram and on Facebook. You could also hear my audio podcasts on Google Podcasts, Apple iTunes Podcasts, and Amazon Podcasts. I'm on local Brooklyn cable television. I air 4 times a week, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 12 a.m. and 2 p.m.